What's up, everybody? Today we are reviewing The Seventh Son.
Seventh son of the seventh son.
An order of noble knights combating the forces of darkness. It says here that there are 1,000 of you.
They won't die.
Starring Jeff Bridges and Julianne Moore.
Yep.
Now,
That pretty much sums it up.
Jeff Bridges is a demon hunter known as a spook. He locks up Julianne Moore. She breaks out years later, and she's wreaking havoc on the world again.
Yes.
She's the queen of the witches.
Your queen has returned. The world of man shall fall.
And he has to get a new apprentice and show him the ropes on how to hunt demons, trolls, witches. And he's just trying to raise him up, and they go out to Julianne Moore together, and then that's pretty much the whole movie.
And his apprentice is the seventh son of the seventh son.
And what does that mean? Nothing.
They were some special order of knights that hunted down the demons.
And Jeff Bridges was the last, the knight
was the last
of
of
his
them.
order.
Yeah.
Apparently, according to the movie, he went through a lot of seventh sons until he got to this last one.
I mean, it's alright for what it was.
It's alright. There's a couple things in the movie that are a little bit jarring. Jeff Bridges talks like Bane for the movie. It kind of throws you off a little bit.
I have been searching for you, Mr. Ward.
Ah, so Bacchus was not your ally.
No.
His mouth movement and everything was like he had no teeth. If he had teeth, I don't know.
Oh, the seventh son! What the fuck?
I
You cast iron to fight the witches! That is not how you fight a witch!
That's pretty much how he talked the entire movie.
Yeah.
Jeff Bridges had me rolling. I mean,
He was probably one of the better parts.
he might have overacted it, but he was hilarious.
Yeah, he was hamming it up. Jeff Bridges was hamming it up for the whole movie. He knew it was a schlock movie.
I mean, that's what it is. So as long as you go into expecting that, you probably will enjoy it.
And you know what? I think it wasn't even that schlocky. Trying to be like, this crazy movie where everything's there's monsters and all this shit's going on and everything's a big schlock fest. But there's like actual plot and they stick to it.
Yeah,
And there's actually like character relations and developments and like it's a solid movie. I mean, the special effects are good. The monsters look cool. Everything looked cool.
I like the mythology of it.
Yeah, the mythology was pretty good. Right off the bat, you get dragons, you get the witches. Right off the bat, first 5 minutes, you're gonna see a dragon. And then it kind of drags a little bit long when you're trying to get introduced to the seventh son and Jeff Bridges' character. There's a little period where you don't see anything really until they finally set off on their quest. Julianne Moore has this set of generals that will help her. She sends them out, and Jeff Bridges has to fight them. But they're not really that even special. They kind of knock them off one after another real quick.
They were lackluster. I mean, they had cool things about them. Most of them could turn to beasts of some type.
Yeah.
And that was pretty cool. Her main general, Radu, he turns to a dragon. Her other general turns to a leopard. The other one turns to a bear.
They didn't give him enough time to show. They just took him out real quick.
Yeah, they like the movies. They wrapped it up. They set up all this cool premise, all these cool characters, all these interesting designs, and then they killed them. They wrapped it up, and I was like, oh, so that guy had 4 arms, and he was doing this crazy sword fight, and then you poked him. So that was lame.
A lot of them died anticlimactically.
Yeah. Jeff Bridges was over the top. Julianne Moore was over the top. The seventh son was kind of
He was there.
flatlined.
Barely memorable, but he was there.
Yeah, he didn't really do much. I mean, there wasn't even really like sword fights and stuff.
I'm not like you.
If you're watching, you're only in it for Jeff Bridges.
Right, yeah. And Ron Perlman.
And
It's not really Ron Perlman. It's a troll.
we called him Ron Perlman.
It's a troll or
Ogre?
ogre man.
Didn't really say. Overall, the movie, it was alright. It's a nice.
It's predictable. I mean,
It's very predictable.
If you've seen that type of movie, you've seen them all.
And I mean, it created its own mythology. Was pretty interesting, but it was kind of murky. Like they didn't really explain much. He has this amulet that his mom has. It's supposed to make witches' power stronger, but they don't really explain what it was or why it does that or who made it or where it came from. It's just kind of there. There's a lot of stuff like that.
This is the kind of movie that I prefer direct to DVD.
It should have been direct.
Right.
The effects were good. I mean, the areas look cool. Like, her lair looked awesome. Right out of Lord of the Rings type shit.
The set pieces were awesome. I
like the set pieces.
Are good.
I was expecting it to be more of like sword fights, more one-on-one fighting, and there wasn't really much of that.
True, being that, Bridges was training the apprentice. Like, you gotta learn how to fight.
He didn't even train him.
Did he train him?
He didn't even train him.
He beat him up
He was
real
supposed
quick.
to.
He beat him up real quick and called it a day.
He
You're
trained
not
him.
ready.
He trained him morally.
Read this book.
We saw this in 3D. Why was this in 3D?
The only thing in 3D I remember was the raindrops.
But 3D was not necessary for this movie. You know, it's just something that movies do these days. I'm like,
This isn't even marketed in 3D.
no, it's
I was
not.
surprised. I was like, we went there. They were like, only option was 3D. I was like, what the hell? This movie will be on Netflix in probably about 4 months.
I give it less time than that. I give it 2 to 3 months, it'll be ready.
Overall, I mean, I'd give it a C plus.
Yeah, I was falling around to just flat C.
Yeah, I give it a flat C also. They give you a little bit of story, and they don't really give you that much background of the witches. Like, Julianne Moore is the mother of witches, but she turns to a dragon. Why?
They don't explain enough of the mythology.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm hoping for direct-to-DVD sequels.
They'll show you something, tell you about it, but they won't tell you why. I mean, the monsters looked amazing. The
sets
CG
were awesome.
was amazing. Yes, the sets were awesome. It's an okay movie. Nothing special, nothing good. I would wait to DVD. I wouldn't go see the movie theater.
I mean, they could have done better. I feel like it could have been a better movie.
Yeah.
C plus from all of us. Well, C plus from me, C from them.
Yeah, C from us. Acting was awkward. Very awkward acting. Everything else was pretty good.
And that's our review of The Seventh Son.
Ooh, the seventh son of the seventh son. Why is the movie called Seventh Son when he wasn't even the seventh son? He was the seventh son of the seventh son.